Because more people in the city that own properties should be doing this, you know, it's good to get everybody together and just get everybody on the same page. The information that Tom gave you, do you guys have any questions on it? Did you guys get a chance to look over it? Is there any questions that you may have before we even start? I only got a couple minutes of stuff to provide to you, but you know, any questions on different things that he had provided?
No, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Has anyone in this room used the fire extinguisher that's provided to you?
Nope.
Would you know how if you had to?
Pull the string.
yeah, they use the pass, pull the pin,
Yeah.
aim it, squeeze it, and sweep.
Oh, it's a sweep.
Yeah, pass. Just think of pass. So you pull the pin, squeeze it, aim it, and sweep it.
That fire extinguisher there that they all have, is that not usable on any type of fire, grease, or other?
This one right here. Right here.
Oh. Yeah, this is an ABC, so it'll do your common combustibles, your electric, and your flammable liquids. The only thing that you could do is they also have a K, which is for grease fires in the kitchen.
Right.
The best thing, for if you have any fire in the kitchen, put a lid on top of it. You put a lid. Always keep a lid near you when you're cooking. You throw that lid on it, and you won't have a problem.
Or even throw salt.
Yeah. Yep. Salt, baking soda.
Oh, salt will kill them too.
This says check your apartment for all people in this room. What about your dog?
Well, actually,
I would save her before him.
well, they do have stickers that you can buy saying this is how many pets I have in our place. I mean with us, life safety is the first priority. And if we can do whatever we can do to save a pet, we will. But also knowing that they're there is a help for us.
No water on grease fires.
Oh no. It'll turn from a pot on a stove to a whole kitchen to your whole apartment. Very
That
fast.
quick, huh?
Very
That
fast.
water makes it travel, right?
Yeah, it splatters it. Any other questions on the information that was provided?
Have you all used or attempted to use the fire escape or fire escape windows or both, depending on your buildings?
No.
Would you know that's the first place you want to go if a hallway is engulfed in flames, the fire? Have you tried it? Would you try it?
Yeah.
All right.
Without a doubt.
Every time I bring them in, I show them all the fires.
Look, I got a question, right?
Absolutely.
Because I've seen it on TV, I don't know if it's real, but they say like if there's a fire in a room or something, and like if you break a window, say like a window.
Oh yeah, because you're adding air, which
So
is
you're not
oxygen
don't
in air.
do that, right?
Yeah, it's better to not open the windows.
And crawl down, right?
Get low and get out.
I was also like in a fire, but I made the whole fire. I was burning some old stuff for my cousin, but it was out like in the field.
Yeah.
But I started throwing extra stuff, so I threw a mattress, and I threw a couch, and the whole field. So I had to save the rabbits, but in the midst, I was like in the smoke. I was like, and I didn't have time to go under, but I made it somehow. I got all the little rabbits and put them all in one cage, which was a bad idea because the father went back and ate all the flesh out of the little ones. Terrible story.
If you're in your bedroom, there's a fire in the hallway, you can't get out, close the door so the fire can't get to you.
So
And
close the door.
Then get out the window if there's a fire escape.
Yeah. Close that door. Puts bed sheets, clothing, whatever underneath to keep the smoke out. Go to the window. Call on your cell phone. Scream and yell out the window, and we'll come. We have ladders on the truck. Come on and get you
Even
out.
if she's knocking it on the other side, and she's
What's going on here?
That's why, now you see why she saved the dog first.
So, just some tips that both Tom and the fire department working together came up with, just to discuss with you real quick, super quick, and we'll answer some questions afterwards. Just during the holiday season, there's over 400 people that pass away in fires, just in the holiday season, nationwide. And over 1,600 of them are injured. People are injured in the same fire, causing over $990 million in damage nationwide. So, those are just put some numbers behind it. With Christmas, what are we doing? We're running around, we're careless, we're trying to get everything done, trying to get all the food cooked, trying to, pack our house with things that we don't normally have in there. So just some things to think about. We're gonna talk about the kitchen and decorations and holiday lights. Just think about the kitchen. Basically, if you're cooking in the kitchen, stay in the kitchen or stay, small apartment like this. You know what? Yeah, you want to sit here on the chair or whatever while someone's cooking. That's not a problem. But you always want to be near the stove. Okay. Try not to clutter the countertops. Try not to put the dish towels and stuff like that or mail too close to the cooking surface. Basically, the other thing is don't put any extension cords to your refrigerator. Yeah, I see some faces. So.
No, yes, you can, as long as it's appliance.
Well, yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be UL for appliances. Yep. We really don't want to see refrigerators though have them, even though they're they're approved.
Right.
Certain extension cords, the heavier gauge wire is approved for them, but we really don't want to see that because, just from an eye, this one is, this one isn't safe. So we don't like to use them anyway. We like to have them wired right into the outlet. Because they draw a lot of electricity. The freezers and refrigerators. Basically, also, does everyone know what carbon monoxide is? What it really is? Right? It's the byproduct of incomplete combustion. So, if when you're cooking, like say on Thanksgiving, right, an apartment like this, you've got a turkey in the oven, and you've been cooking for 4 or 5 hours, you're going to have carbon monoxide to a certain level. Okay. The best thing to do is crack the window a little bit, any window, just to get that air to change over a little bit. All right. It is not uncommon for us. I mean, that's all we do on Thanksgiving morning is go to carbon monoxide alarms. Especially in some of the projects that only have maybe one window in the apartment. Okay, so we want to make sure we ventilate a little bit. All right. Some of our decorations. Some people have bigger decorations in hallways. Like Santa Clauses and inflatable type things. You want to make sure you limit that so that you always have an egress out of the apartment. Okay. Some of our older decorations, they might be like family heirlooms and stuff like that. But just remember that they're not treated for heat and for fire like the new kind are. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, absolutely. Christmas tree. Keep water in it. If it's a live tree, keep watering it because a dry tree, you can look online. The United States Fire Association actually puts videos online of trees going up that are dry. And literally the entire room will be engulfed in fire in seconds from a tree being lit on fire. Don't ever use real candles on the tree. Some people still actually like the nostalgia of putting the candles around the tree. If you put them on your tree, just don't light them. Put them there for nostalgia, but don't light them. Some of our holiday lights. Make sure before you're putting them up, make sure you're inspecting, make sure no wires are frayed. Make sure you're not stapling them to anything. They're using like little clips. Try not to put more than 3 or 4 in a row in series to overload outlets. Okay. Try not to put any extension cords under the carpet. Okay, under couches, under beds where they're being pushed, because they're being loaded, and the more you put in there, the hotter they can get. And try to turn your lights off when you're going to bed. Don't let them run. Some people let them run all day and night for the holiday season.
You hear that? No. You hear that? You would like some.
You're scared of the dark.
Some of your newer artificial trees, I like a real tree, but some of the artificial trees, the newer ones, are flame retardant, so that's a plus. Some of the older ones are not. We talked about pets, right? Sometimes pets, they don't realize they're doing it, but if they're a bigger dog, like I have a bigger dog, they walk around, they can knock over something. You got your candles out, your scented candles and things. Just watch, they don't mean to do it, but sometimes they bump it and it falls over.
That pit bull tail.
Yeah, man, a rabbit, don't put it back in with the
Yeah, if it's a rabbit. For heating, okay, during the cold months, we're in a cold spell right now. If you have a fireplace, make sure there's no cracks or anything where the gases and smoke can escape. Make sure everyone see the screens in front of the fireplace. They're there for a reason, Kids, also there for embers coming out. Sometimes if you have some wet wood, it'll pop and hiss, and those little embers are gonna come out onto your carpet or floor, so you gotta be careful with that. If you do have an open fire, just make sure that the fire's completely out and all the embers are out before you put those ashes anywhere. We want to make sure that we put them outside of the house. We want to make sure we don't put them in the garbage bins, especially garbage bins. Some of the houses here have the alleyway between the houses. They go to the backyard.
Yeah.
You don't want to make sure you put them in there. You want to make sure that they're away from the house. God forbid, something happens. Remember a couple of years ago, the big mansion during Christmas time in Connecticut. The woman, the boyfriend put him out in the container, lit the whole house on fire, and I believe the child and I think the mother were killed in the fire.
No, it's 4 kids and
Four
the grandparents.
Yeah, the whole
The
family.
whole family except the mother and the boyfriend.
Yeah, and now there was no intent. He didn't mean to do it. He was just trying to be nice and clean out the fireplace. You got to be very, very careful. Who uses space heaters? All right, nobody uses space heaters.
We did.
Yeah, they're
Not
great. They take the chill out of the room. We just have to be mindful that they're new or newer, okay, and that they're not overloaded. They're not in a receptacle with 5 or 6 other things plugged in. Make sure it's about 3 feet around. I know I live in an older house too. I know how it is. There's maybe only one outlet in the entire room. But you have to be thinking about that. No kerosene heaters. No.
We used to.
Yeah, I had them too when I was a kid. My parents had them, but you know what? It's actually city ordinance in the city of Trenton.
They're not legal anymore?
Oh no, they're illegal. Actually, they're illegal in the whole country. But Trenton actually has an ordinance that if we see them, we can actually remove them from.
But like for a garage, you could do like if you're out in the garage doing mechanical work, either you
can't have kerosene.
No.
No, you can have the natural, the propane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the salmon. Yeah, but the kerosene ones are bad news. The other thing is, all right, if you're ever a little cold, do not put your burners on or open your oven door for heat. Okay, we go to a lot of calls every year where carbon monoxide poisoning or fires started because you get a little bit of grease on your hood system or on your doors. That'll start catching fire. You have an entire kitchen fire.
I just came from a house. They got 3 kids. They got a real Christmas tree. The bottom piece of the door, I told them to put a piece of plywood or something underneath. It's open like this, so she's got electric heater here, electric heater here, and she got the oven open at 400 degrees. Jennifer Jewis.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call them and tell them about
I'll
that.
tell you, forget about. The fire is a big problem. The biggest problem is the carbon monoxide.
I'm gonna tell her. Yeah,
That house is just filling up. But carbon monoxide, remember, odorless, tasteless. Okay, it's a silent killer. And she leaves that open at night. CO levels build up, and up to 1,200, 1,600 parts per million. Next thing you know, they're not waking up in the morning. They'll pass away right in their sleep. It happens all around the country. That's the biggest thing I can tell you is do not heat your house with those ovens and with those burners. Really, they're very bad. We're all going to have get-togethers, just like today, parties this time of year. Just make sure that, again, we don't crowd the aisleways and the hallways with our tables and stuff. And just, if you live in an apartment, work with your other people in your building, If you're having a lot of people over, just talk with them. Make sure you don't overpack the place. And just some general things. If you have children, they use the term Edith, exit drills in the home. If you have little children, just talk about the exit drills. Talk about if this happens, what are we going to do? If there's a fire in the living room, we're going to do this. If there's a fire in the bedroom, we're going to do this. Make sure that they know how to dial 911. If you have older people in your house, same thing. Make sure that they can dial 911. Make sure they have all the emergency numbers. Okay. And the other thing is, once you get out of the house, don't ever come back in. All right. We've had, I don't care if there's a dog or whatever. We'll find them. We will find dogs.
I would die for my dog.
And let me tell you, dogs are more resilient than we are.
Yeah.
They will find a way out. I've been to house fires where people have perished, and the dog's out on the sidewalk because the dog don't want to be in that house.
Yeah.
That dog will get out. Trust me. If we don't find it first, that dog will get out. Okay? Don't ever re-enter the building. We've had a lot of deaths in the city of Trenton alone where people have said, oh, well, my husband went back in to try to get whoever. And now we have 2 people that passed away.
Or whoever's out in the backyard and he went in the front door.
Yeah, you may be looking for your cousin. Your cousin's in the backyard, and he's like, "Phew," and now you're in there looking for him, and now you perished for no reason, really.
You should have a safe spot where everybody meets.
Yeah.
If there's something that
Exactly.
happens, the big oak tree in front of the neighbor's house, that's where we'll all meet. That's what I tell my kids.
Yeah, 2 doors down, the bodega down the street, the mailbox, the bus stop. That way everyone's there, and then we can say, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay. We pull up. First thing we're going to ask you, we got a house fire, and there's people, occupants, anyone inside? Because I'm not going to spend my time looking in the living room if you know that there's someone on the 2nd floor. We're going to go right to those bedrooms. We may not even go in the front door. We'll throw a ladder right up to the 2nd floor window and go in to get as fast as possible. So definitely make sure that everyone knows where smoke detectors are at. And the other one is smoke detectors. The City of Trenton, through partnerships with some big companies, have free smoke detectors. Absolutely free to both landlords and tenants. Okay? All you have to do is call 989-4036 or 4037. I'll give that number to you again before I leave. And you call the chief and say, I live at 205 Perry Street, apartment 1, and I would like a smoke detector. The fire company comes out, installs it for you. We'll answer any questions. They're absolutely free of charge. Okay, you know how many times we go to house fires and they have no smoke detector, or they've got 4 of them and none of them have batteries in them because Christmas time, what do? You can't tell your kid, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow morning to get batteries, and you steal the batteries out of there.
Oh.
And so it's free of charge. Basically, every floor of occupancy where you live should have a smoke detector and should be within 10 feet of the bedrooms. All right, you don't need one for each bedroom, so if you've got a hallway here and there's 3 bedrooms off of that hallway, you can just put 1.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
The carbon monoxide, is it worse with the oven and cooking or with cigarettes?
Well, cigarettes, it's not really. There is some carbon monoxide in cigarettes, but you would have to have a lot of burning cigarettes to equal the same as a blocked furnace or an open oven, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is the smoke detectors are probably